week in the, I said it backwards today. Make it a little interesting. Mikey McSee, a clean shaven.
Yeah, had a little mishap trying to trim it up.
well, he had to go incognito after last Sunday, from what I heard.
Oh, goodness gracious.
But anyway, hey, so we're down to semifinal games.
Yeah, we are.
In
every league.
Conference.
In
every conference, we are down to semifinal games. There will be 3 refs available for some of the games this week.
Right. Starting next week,
everybody's got 3 refs. So there'll be 3 guys to yell at.
Yeah.
Instead of 2. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to start with the touch. And as we said last week, now we're going to look at what we said last week.
Right.
And then go from there. I had said that the Flight Boys would handle the All-Stars.
And they did.
And I heard that there was, I don't know, it wasn't exactly a forfeit, but the game ended abruptly.
Yeah,
right?
There was about 3 minutes left. They had gone up by 3, and All-Stars just said, you know what, how much time's left? 3 minutes? Let's call it.
Well, I watched that game, and the Flight Boys were all over the field. And on the very first play of the game, number 1 goes wire to window.
Yep.
Pete's showing everybody that, and I'm telling you, this is what, if you've never seen this guy play, that's an example of what he can do every time he touches the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I had some guys on the All-Star saying this guy isn't really that good, even though, you know, you're hyping him up every week. But
oh, they talked about the hype? I give him
that. He showed it. And you know what? There was a number 17 sighting up for the Flight Boys playing this week.
And also that short blonde-haired kid, number 9.
Yes.
Now this kid is good.
Yeah.
That
whole team is good.
I mean, they're very quick, very fast.
Very. Yeah.
And I mean, this week they draw the Grimaces, which in my opinion marks the end of the Grimaces season.
Go Grimaces, say baby.
Don't forget, I know who they are now, Mike.
I know.
And there's no way that they're going to be able to run with this team.
That's going to be a great. I think that's going to be a great game.
I just don't.
I think these are 2 good offenses right here.
I don't see. Grimaces scored 13 points again. They've been scoring 12, 13 points every week. The Flight Boys scored that in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be speed against non-speed.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the Flight Boys are going to emerge. The Grimaces hung in there. I mean, they came from nowhere to get to a semifinal game.
I'm still sticking with them. I think they're still taking it.
Loyal to the end.
You know, Tebow's last, his Rebels, I don't know what happened to him, and the All-Stars, he picked them. Tebow, or I should say I love the Blazers. You got to stick to that name for the rest of the season. His picks were down.
Well, not good.
Maybe you should just stick to the 6-on-6.
He ought to stay behind. He ought to stay behind the bubble. Is what he ought to do. In the other touch game, a little bit of a surprise. Actually, a very big surprise.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the Rebels getting shut out.
Yeah.
By the 8 team. Now, the 8 team, we said last week, they don't score any points. They didn't have to.
They didn't have to. 6
points was enough to get the job done.
Yeah, I'll tell you, watching that game, that quarterback looks like he has a pretty strong arm for the 8 team.
Jay's got a good, strong arm. His decision-making sometimes is a little questionable.
Yeah.
It is. But I'll tell you this. The Hawks, to me, are almost like a mirror image of the Flight Boys. Same kind of team.
Right.
Fast. Right. Their quarterback is very elusive. And by the way, the quarterback for the Flight Boys.
Yeah, their normal quarterback wasn't there. They're hoping it was just for last week. But, they had... This guy stepped in.
But that's the guy I talked to about it in a Rebel game, if you remember.
Okay.
He can play.
Yeah.
I mean, they lose him on offense in terms of receiving.
Right.
Right, when he's got a quarterback. Because if their quarterback shows up, he's just another great receiver.
This is a good team.
This is a very good team. But as far as the Hawks being, they're a mirror image of the Flight Boys, I think. And I think that they will handle the 8 team with ease. So I think we're looking at, my opinion, I think we're looking at an 8-team Flight Boys matchup. And
8-team Flight Boys?
Sorry. Hawks, Flight Boys. Hawks, Flight Boys.
Okay.
And I think that's going to be a hell of a game if it comes out that way.
If the Flight Boys can get by my Grimaces.
Well.
No, that should be a very good game. You're right. It should end up that way. I like the Grimaces, though, but I think we're going to get our money's worth no matter what.
Well, if the 8 team, I mean, they play defense.
Yeah.
They play defense.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen the Flight Boys really get stopped yet all year.
No, that one.
And I haven't seen the Hawks really get stopped all year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Here we go.
We'll see.
Championship
if it all plays out right, we'll see.
We'll see. Hey, let's get to the 6-on-6 flag now.
Yeah, man.
And, again, really no real surprises. Everything kind of stayed to form.
Yep.
Your Lightning did survive the first round.
Of course they did.
So my projection there is good. Now, can they duplicate
against the Bruins
the effort that they gave against the Bruins, what was it, in week 6?
Yeah, something like that.
Where they actually, and I'm going to acknowledge this, Lightning, you guys had the lead. You had a lead and a chance to win the game. You needed to make a big stop, and you didn't do it.
We'll see what happens.
They didn't do it. They
get the chance to redeem it.
Well, we'll see. Bruins, AJ
took care. Yeah, watch.
Playoff games are nothing new to him.
Right.
I mean, I don't see him being a little nervous or anything like that. He's been through too many of these.
They're ready for this.
He's just going to have to come out, play his game. The Bruins play their game. Again, I think the Lightning can't win. But I've said that so many times this year.
Yes.
And now, if they don't win this game, then I don't have to talk about the Lightning anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll be gone. But anyway, that's right. And you liking that game, the Bruin Lightning? Are you going to stick with the Lightning?
I'm going to stick with the Lightning. Well, yeah, I got to stick with the Lightning. I mean, I've been riding them all year. We saw that game. This game could go either way. This wasn't a blowout. Yeah, they didn't make that stop at the end of the game, but this game, maybe they do make that stop. Maybe AJ throws a pick. Maybe we'll see. I mean, these two teams were close when they played. It wasn't like we've seen the Bruins. They've blown out a lot of people this year. They've destroyed a lot of people. They destroyed the Bears.
Bruins we said it when Tebow was here. Right. They were a little bit attitude-ish.
Right.
If that's a word.
And hey, Lightning hung in with them to the very end. We'll see.
Well,
maybe they'll watch that tape again, learn a little bit.
They're going to have to score points because the Bruins are going to score.
Lightning are going to score points. They have to not give up points. Okay. That's their problem, is the defense.
Okay.
We've said that a million times about the Lightning.
Okay, so let's go to the other semifinal game in that conference, which would be the Bucks and the Bears. Now, here's a game with some potential for an upset. And I don't even know. You're down to final 4 teams in each conference. Can you really call it an upset if a 1 beats a 4? Because these teams are really closely.
Yeah, they are close. I don't see the Bucks. They've had a great year, but I've said it before. They let teams stay around. They let them hang around and just come back. The Bears, I think, are going to be too much for them this week.
Well, I'll tell you what. If the Bears don't win this game, their legacy will continue to fall. Last season they were a juggernaut. Nobody wanted to play them,
except the
All-Stars. This year they had a good season at 7-1, but we had said that.
Yeah, they're 7-1, and we're still like,
talking about it. Yeah. So I mean, they need to get back to a conference final.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
And I think if it comes down to a matter of points again, I think the Bears can outgun the Bucks.
Yeah, I think they can too. I think, like I said, their Bucks defense lets teams just hang around. And if the Bears, I know the Bears want to beat the Bucks just for the chance to get back at the Bruins for that. What was that? Week 4.
Well,
beat down, shut out in the second half, beat down.
Well, you know what though? I think that game's forgotten.
I don't know.
That's a month ago, and now you're in a semifinal for a conference championship game.
Yeah, but that wasn't a close game. I don't think that was it could have gone either way. If we're talking about the first half of that game, yeah. But the second half, it was all Bruins. And I think that stings a little.
Okay, so you're looking for a motivational factor here.
Why not?
Okay, all right. Well, let's go to the other bracket here. We have the Yombies and Sam's Taxi Blazer, and you have a little bit of news to reveal.
Yeah, I heard there may not be a Justin Laguna sighting today, or for that game. He may not be able to make it. That was a little word on the street I got. So we'll see.
Now there's another Laguna.
There is another Laguna waiting in the wings to take over as quarterback.
Now here's my question, and you know me, I can be a SHT stirrer when I want to be. Did he play enough games to qualify for the playoffs?
Yeah. He played in the game on Sunday.
Okay, well, he needs 3. Well, that was a playoff game.
I know, that was a playoff, so he was on it.
He had to have played 4 games before that, so if he did, then do you lose anything with Joey Laguna at quarterback?
I don't know.
Oh, Justin, I'm sorry.
I mean...
Well, Justin was the quarterback
Justin
of the
was quarterback. Yeah.
When they were in their heyday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like they're putting somebody in there that doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
He's got the same last name, therefore has the same genes. So, it could be a little iffy. But again, the Taxi Blazers, man, again, you throw out that first week loss, and they have just been rolling through.
They look good.
And I mean, they just haven't been beating teams. They have been annihilating teams.
Yeah.
And when your margin every week is 25 points or better, it's not bad.
Yeah.
So I think it's not going to be the Taxi Blazers chasing the Yambies. I think it's going to be the Yambies chasing the Taxi Blazers in that game.
I got a lot of flack from them on the sidelines for not picking a Laguna, not on that, rah-rah Laguna. But I'd say if that was a big game and he was going to say, they let Nexus hang around. Again, they were there.
It's an 11-point game.
Yeah, I mean, they got a late touchdown. Nexus got a late touchdown, but there was never at any time when I was watching that game, filming it, that wow, the Yambies are destroying these dudes. They own it, and they're toying with.
So in other words, it was a game right down to the end.
It was a game. Maybe it's the Yambies defense just needs to step up a little more and secure these wins, but.
Well, if they don't step up on defense, they're playing the wrong team.
Yes, they are.
Because the Blazers, even if you're a good defensive team, will run by you.
We'll see if we just put the game up. All these weeks we're talking. I can't remember the quarterback's name. Finally, Robbie says, Jason, hey.
Jason, we're sorry for not knowing who you are,
and
but
Robbie
I think
quarterbacks this week though.
And Robbie's quarterback.
Robbie was quarterbacking this week
because the quarterback wasn't there.
Yeah, he wasn't there. I was like, I was all ready to. Get on there.
Here's Robbie Lane stepping in.
Put
up 39 points. Whatever they put up.
Yeah, it was against the Wolfpack.
Okay.
It was a 2. It was a 7 versus.
Okay, well let's just say Jason had picked the right game to miss.
Yes, he did.
He did.
So
So we both like the Blazers in that game.
Yeah.
Okay, so we both like the Blazers in that game. Yambies, go out and prove us wrong.
Yeah. We'll see.
In the other half, chuckle.
You're gonna hear from Rich. Let me tell you.
Here it is, the Buck City Breed and the All Stars. Now these two teams have a history.
Yeah.
The Buck City Breed and the All Stars have met almost in the exact type of game. A 1-4 game.
Yeah.
Because it's 1 whatever because the All Stars have been seeded number 1 forevermore.
Ever.
So, Buck City Breed, good players, can score points. Had the All Stars on the ropes a couple of times
the All-Stars,
in the playoffs, but they make the big play. They
do.
Buck City Breed can win this game.
But they're not. I don't think they're gonna.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
They can win if, let me finish.
All right.
They have to play the perfect game against the All Stars. No mistakes.
You say that about everybody.
I understand that, but this Buck City Breed has talent. If you got a no-talent team or a semi-talented team that plays a perfect game, the All Stars are still going to beat you.
Right, I
agree.
Beat you. No,
but if you have a talented team, that plays a perfect game, then that makes the All Stars step up even more. So I know, and they probably can.
And that's the scary part.
Yeah.
I swear, I think next season, if they win the chip again this year, I'm filming every game they do because I want to have it on record when they finally lose a game. If they win it again this year, what's that, 7?
Titano sent me an email. He wants to know what Sculptor's going to do with statue to put on the grounds of Hackensack's Field over there. Forget it. It's not going to be Jack the Tour Field anymore. It's going to be called Titano's house because he never loses in that place. So you're going to go with the All Stars?
Yeah. How could you not?
I have to go with the All Stars also, but I give Buck City Breed a puncher's chance in this game. I really do. And we'll see what happens in who we have left for the conference championship game next week. Okay, moving on. But before we move on, you gonna move for a quick steak?
You better believe it.
Okay, let's go to Steve and see if we can get a minute steak. Right back.
As restaurants come and go, it is rare to find an establishment like Steve's Sizzling Steaks. Steve's has focused on excellent food, comfortable ambiance, and a friendly staff. Times sure have changed since Steve's first opened their doors, but what hasn't changed is the family atmosphere that makes Steve's so special. Open 7 days a week, Sunday through Thursday, 11:30 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Located at 620 Route 17 South in Carlstadt, New Jersey, or call 201-438-9677 for your reservation.
Steak, the one to the right. Oh man, those French fries are like 7 inches long. Guys, field goal contest is gonna be pushed back a little bit, but I hope whoever wins that is gonna enjoy it. Takes it. Well, no, they're gonna take their girlfriend. They gotta take their girlfriend and wife. They better take both, their wife and their girlfriend.
There you go.
Perfect. Let's get to Flag B.
Flag B.
And I'm gonna start. I'm going to start with the Patriot Warhead game here.
Boring bowl, huh?
Boring bowl, yes. Okay, so did the Warheads trip over the hash marks during this game?
Maybe.
Because the Patriots putting up 38 points, to me, was a little bit of a surprise. Because I know the Warheads can play a little defense.
38, yeah, I saw that on the board when the scores came up.
So did they get their offense together?
Maybe.
Were the Warheads did they get down early and just kind of like, give up the ghost?
Maybe.
I don't know. I wasn't at the game.
Yeah.
I just could see the final score. But I'll tell you what, the Patriots better be prepared to score that many points again, because the team they're playing, the Kodiaks, really just demolished the Sons of Anarchy. I was fortunate enough to do that game up in beautiful Lake Hopatcong. And by the way, I promised to give Zach, the Kodiak kid, a big shout out. That's
all right.
That is Jerry's kid. It really is Jerry's kid, and his beautiful wife is expecting their second child.
Excellent, congratulations.
Congratulations there. I told him now he needs to go out and buy a television set, and cool it for a while. Back to back to back. We don't want back to back to back, Jerry.
Hey.
But a big shout out to Zach. And I have a meeting with JT a little later, and we're going to get to see if we can send Zach a miniature, or they'll have to shrink it in the washing machine, a little ACFL t-shirt.
There you go.
Zach, he was a big help. He actually picked up the cones at the end of the game, too. So
there you go.
Mike O'Brien was reffing with me. I asked Mike to give him $1. He ran away, cheapskate. Reaches into his pocket, comes out with a handful of moss.
Yeah.
But the Kodiaks really look, and the Kodiaks, now, they lost a couple of players, and by the way, the fella that got hurt in that championship game with the ankle situation, he's done. He's never going to play again, which is pretty sad.
That is sad.
But the Kodiaks, offense, methodical.
We haven't really talked about these guys.
No, you know what it is? They've just been going about their business, and
quietly, you don't hear anything on the board from them. You don't.
Nothing, because they just go out and do what they got to do.
Here's another 7-1 season.
And they lost to the Patriots.
Yeah, weird.
So do the Kodiaks have revenge on their mind?
Revenge, maybe. Yeah.
They will be playing at Wayne.
Wayne.
And now Jerry asked me a question, and I have the answer for you. According to the rules of renting out that Wayne field, a Wayne Township resident must be on the field at all times. So in order to secure that field, somebody from Wayne has to be, and turf field makes conditions equal for everybody.
Yep.
I don't think that there'll be 15,000 people at this game, so the team that plays their best game is going to win. I understand your principle, Jerry, but the league has to conform to what the people that lease the fields out tell us. So, but let's talk about the game, Kodiaks Patriots. I mean, both teams come off big wins, but
big wins.
The Patriot big winning wasn't a surprise.
The points.
The points were the surprise.
Who knows? Maybe. But we've seen that. We've talked about them. Hey, they don't score anything. And then all of a sudden, 1 week they're putting up 25.
Yeah, but the Kodiaks do this on a regular basis.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I agree.
They put up a lot of points on a regular basis. And by the way, they also lost their field goal kicker. Jerry was actually kicking for the team. He didn't do bad. Made a couple of extra points. But I'm not surprised if the Kodiaks scored 35 points. Are you surprised if the Patriots scored 35 points in this game?
Yes, very much.
So.
Yeah, the times that I've seen them, I think they haven't even broken 20.
And I'm going to tell you something. That is my best bet of the week.
Kodiaks over the Patriots.
Kodiaks over the Patriots is my best bet of the week. Patriots, you put up a big game. If you can do it again and knock off a 1 seed, I won't eat Steve steaks. I'll eat crow.
Yeah, there you go.
But I just think the Kodiaks have too much.
They're rolling.
They're
rolling.
Patriots, good season.
Good season,
considering the type of offense they played all year. They end up.
Yeah, I don't think it was a typical Patriots season. I mean, they seemed a little down. When we've discussed this, how many times? It's just their offense. I mean, if they can retool, find a couple pieces, I still think some of these teams should go out and really recruit some of the.
There'll be players out there. Let's go. Let's get to the 2-3 game. That's a 1-4 game, Kodiaks and Patriots.
Yep.
The 2-3 game is a rematch.
Yeah.
Of the Hawkeyes and the Bankers.
That should be a great game.
And that should be a good game. And the thing about, if you remember, we talked about that game, and It wasn't posted, right? I don't think it was posted.
Nope.
Okay, the Hawkeyes, total domination in the second half. Total domination in the second half. The Bankers did not play their best game, but I think that was because of the Hawkeyes' defense.
I'll tell you, the Hawkeyes, it looked like they struggled against the NJ Lions this week. I mean, it was only 14-6.
They only put up 14 points.
And that was early in the first half. I mean, it did not look like it started as I was watching it, putting this game together. I was like, don't tell me. Here we go, Hawkeyes. You're in the playoffs.
And everything goes back the way it was.
You know?
Well, was it the type of game, though, and you saw it, you were there, you watched it. Was it the type of game where the Hawkeyes kind of felt like we're in control of this game?
No.
We don't have to exert too much energy?
No, both sides were playing hard. Number 18 on the Hawkeyes, he had a great game. Defensively, scored a touchdown, a couple interceptions. So he was a nice pickup that they had.
Who quarterbacked the Lions? Was it Rob from the old quarterback from the Crush? Was he there? Long, dark hair?
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
Sorry.
Well, again, the quarterback play is what hampered the Lions all year anyway.
It was. I mean, there were a lot of turnovers on both sides. A couple interceptions. Both teams had a couple interceptions. Just the Hawkeyes didn't look like how we've talked about them, how they're just aggressive. Here we go. It looked like they struggled against this 7 seed, you know?
Well, you know, the Lions, I'm going to tell you, the only thing that's keeping the Lions from being a good team,
right.
I mean, they've been looking for a quarterback for like 25 years.
Yeah.
You know, they've got to find somebody that will be their quarterback and lead them on offense. And it's unfortunate they haven't been able to find one.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what's holding them down.
Watching that game, I can't say that it was the quarterback play, but yeah, there's something. I don't know.
Let me ask you this. Did the Hawkeyes peak too soon? Did the Hawkeyes peak somewhere around week 6? And now, you know, they've kind of leveled off a little bit?
Maybe this was just a bump. Maybe this is just a great matchup, you know, between these two teams. We'll see. Again, let's hope for the Hawkeyes' sake that it's not a regular season where it's, hey, we get in the playoffs and we're a 1-2 seed and you're out by week 2. You know,
right. Well, let's take a look at the other side, Mike.
Right.
The other side, the two semifinal games. The first game pits the Warriors against Team.
Right.
Team with a surprisingly easy win over the Wildcats.
Yeah, that was an upset. I believe Team was ranked lower as a 4-5, you know.
Again, the 4-5 games.
Right, the 4-5, and they seem to handle the Wildcats very well. You know, I don't know if anyone was missing.
And if you remember what we talked about when Tebow was here, I said the Wildcats have a lot of good offensive players.
Right.
But they're not. Their offense was going nowhere the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and wasn't this team in the chip game a couple seasons ago?
They were.
I mean, was that in the fall?
No, I believe that was 2 springs ago.
It was recent.
I know it was hot because we were at Bloomfield Field and it was hot.
It was recent.
That turf, you could have cooked stuff on it. But teams always had a decent defensive team.
Yep, very good defensive.
All right.
Very athletic, very fast defensive team.
And you know, the Wildcats, maybe they just didn't have their day offensively.
Maybe.
Team's defense might have stepped up. But anyway, they win.
Yeah.
They advance to the winner of the
Warriors game.
Goons and Warriors, and I think that the Goons and Trojans.
Yes.
Goons and Trojans, I'm sorry. But I still go with, to finish off this game, I still think the Warriors, again, are going to win this game. This is the type of game that the Warriors have lost.
Yes.
In the past.
Yeah, they should. Both these games, if they stay true, this should be a pretty easy walk for the Warriors and the Goons.
Okay, you're calling it an easy walk. I'm going to call it a good game. I think it's going to be a good game. I think Team's defense will keep them in the game for a while.
I mean, Warriors got a lot of weapons.
They do. You got to look for the fatal flaw. Team turns the ball over a couple of times.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. But Matty Ice playing really good right now.
Yeah, he's playing good.
He stepped up to the challenge when those quarterback rankings came out.
Right.
And I know Matty, he gets motivated by stuff like that.
I still think they need a running game.
Well, I'll tell you what. They don't have one by now, Mike.
I know. Not this year.
It's not gonna work.
And Trojans getting in on a forfeit.
Oh God, number 2 seed, a 2 seed forfeits a first round playoff.
Unbelievable.
Game.
I've been looking forward to seeing this JD Core team, and the one time I went to go film them, forfeit. Now it's like boom.
Quarterfinal, forfeit
in a playoff. But come on.
Well, anyway. the Trojans get in, and now they have the dubious task of facing last year's winner.
But you know what? Hey,
the Goons.
They get in. See if they can make it interesting.
You know, and I saw somebody say something on the board, and again, I just like to look at the board for fodder and address my critics occasionally.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's all fun. Somebody said something about Kenny dropping back 15 yards this year instead of 10. Now look, this guy could drop back to the goal line.
Yeah.
You understand? He's getting the job done. All right? The guy is a good, solid quarterback.
Yeah, very good.
Good, solid quarterback. Doesn't force the ball. Knows how to throw the ball away when he has to.
Yeah.
Okay. And if his offensive line allows him the comfort of dropping 10 yards back and still protected him, he's got a half hour to throw back there.
We've talked about this. Yeah, he's back 10 yards, 15 yards. Sack him. That's a 15-yard loss. All right, and they're dumping screen passes off. So these screen passes aren't even to the line of scrimmage yet. Make a play. Make a play. Everybody knows this. And for how long? Last 3 seasons or so. Kenny's always dropping back. This guy's so far back. It's ridiculous. Why?
But they can't do anything about
it. Get
to him. And he throws the ball to a lot of different people.
Yes.
He throws the ball to a lot of different people. And, and actually, I spoke with him once. He says it gives me a chance to read the defenses a little bit better.
That's what it boils down to. You know what?
If it works for him, good for him.
Get him. You could look at it the other way. He's now starting another 15 yards back. That's where his play is starting. Get to him, defense.
It sounds kind of like what they say about the Tano. He's too slow. He can't run. He can't do this. Everything he can't do, they leave out the only thing he does do.
Yeah.
Win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's going to be.
We should take care of it.
I think we're looking. All right, I'm going to go Warriors Goons in this. I think we're going to look at a 1-2 conference championship game there. And that's really going to be a good game.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, a little rematch from week 3, I believe. Great game.
And we might be live at some of these games, mic'd on.
That would be nice.
The finals, we will definitely be mic'd on. I'll be there mic'd on. And I'll be talking to that guy up in the booth at Hackney. What a great job that guy does doing the play-by-play. I'm telling you, he's great. All right, let's move to the other conference in the B flag.
Right.
And we have playing in game number 1 there. Mike, who do we have up there?
We already got that. We had Kodiaks and
all right, so we're done.
Them already.
We're done with B. But
so B is done. We're cruising through these things.
Hey, so let's take another quick break, and let's take a look at where you should go get coiffed. All right? Sal's Barber Exclusive. We'll be right back.
Are you in need of a new haircut? Tired of the same barbershop? Come to Sal's Barber Exclusive for our family experience. We have 45 years of business experience in haircutting. We offer the basic hair trimmings as well as stylings. No reservations, walk-ins only. Come on in and see Denise, Monica, and Sal. The number's 201-327-7037. 6 Church Street in Ramsey on the corner of Main and Church. Our hours are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:30 to 6. Thursdays, 8:30 to 7:30, and Saturdays, 8 to 5. Closed on Mondays and Sundays. Come to Sal's Barber Exclusive.
It has stood up again through the test of time. Yes, it has. All right, we've been doing this show, 4 years now?
Something like that.
This is a wind tunnel tested head. 90-mile-an-hour winds cannot mess up this head.
There you go. There you go.
So
Jimmy Johnson ain't got nothing on you.
There you go. That's right. And his hair still hasn't moved. And I see.
All right.
Okay. Well, you got to grow some first.
I do have to grow some.
All right. We saved the 8 for last for a couple of reasons. A disappointing overall season for the Eagles.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, it was basically 5 teams out of 8.
you can't blame the league.
No.
You can't blame the league. It's just that, and there was a thing on the board that was directed at Bub that I just felt I had to speak out against.
Right.
The guys that run the teams, these A teams or any team, right?
Right.
I mean, they take an added responsibility on themselves, and I don't think they're getting paid, for running the team.
No.
These are, and somebody else said, this is grown men show up and play. Well, you know what? If you get a team that doesn't show up or is constantly late, then you're not dealing with grown men.
No, you're not.
So I thought it was very unfair for Bub to be singled out.
Yeah.
And, said that, well, you don't have your team there on time. Well, you know what? He doesn't sleep with all these guys.
Yeah. He's not getting them on the team bus in the morning.
Exactly. So, Bub, that was just something that I felt needed to be said because you're an all right guy and you want to play the game. You were the only one there basically on time. There were a few players. I did mention a few players that they have a core of guys, 4 or 5 guys that show up, but you can't play with 4 or 5 guys. So those question marks just keep growing.
Yeah.
So, Bub, I just wanted to get that in. So, although the A-League had what I'll call a down season, we still have a hell of a semifinal.
Oh, yeah.
Lineup
The
here.
teams that showed up and played, that was A football. You know what I mean? Those were the teams. Obviously, they're the ones that are still there. They've been there for how long? Mm-hmm. These are the staple teams that are always there. So, from that aspect, those games, those teams, when they were playing, it was great. But yeah, these forfeits, it's just.
Well, let's start with an A game. Let's start with the Canes.
Okay.
The Canes game against the HOB, and again, hard hitting.
Hard hitting. Defense. That was a defensive
was
game.
not an offensive explosion.
No, there was.
By any stretch of the imagination.
Very little.
The Canes come back on a late play.
Yeah.
To score a touchdown.
About 40 seconds left.
40 seconds went to
out to Earl, and he took it off down the sideline.
No, he's never done that before.
Yeah, and that's really, like I said, like 40 seconds left.
Now, I want to ask you something. This is a game you did. Was it more the Canes' defense than the HOB's inability to move the ball? Because I watched the game, and it really looked like they moved the ball, except for that one drive.
Right.
They just didn't look like they were moving the ball very well.
I think both teams' offense really wasn't moving the ball.
Now, that was because of the defense.
Yeah. After watching it and then watching it again when I was putting it all together and getting it ready, I don't know. There was just it wasn't like there was spectacular defensive plays all over the place.
Nobody got into an offensive flow.
Yeah, it was just kind of, hey, 3 and out, hey, 3 and out, hey, undeclared, hey, 3 and out. It was that would have been the boring bowl, like you called the Warhead game, Warhead Patriots. It was. There's a good defensive game when you watch it, and you know that this is a great defensive struggle against each other. This was just kind of like two good defenses against
2 inept offense.
Yeah, very mediocre offenses.
Okay, well,
which is I don't understand it. I don't understand why the Canes' offense is so mediocre this year.
Well, again, I watched the game. I watched Wally. He doesn't look any different.
No.
To me.
The line's still good line play. You still got Pugh. You still got Plesh. You still got these guys out there. But I don't know. I don't know.
Well, it's a shame. It's a shame that there had to be some controversy in the game.
Yeah, that's a shame.
But you move on. The Canes still had to make that last play to win the game, no matter what.
Yeah.
And they did.
Yeah, it was that out. I mean, it was a good play. That was probably the only good play in the game. I mean, they had a safety, so it was early in the game.
You move on. That's it. The game's over. The Canes win the game.
At one point it was 8-5. You know what I mean? It was
almost time for Mariano.
Yeah, it was baseball score. It would have been an exciting baseball game if we were watching an 8-5 game. But as football,
Okay, so HOB, another good solid season. You led the league in defense.
They need a quarterback. That defense. They keep that defense, and if they can get a quarterback, get Red back in as a receiver or a running back for them, I think that's pretty good.
No,
then they'll be really good.
They're not short of athletes.
No, they're not. It's their quarterback. They need a quarterback. How long have they been down without a quarterback?
They've had about 4 or 5 different quarterbacks
I was just
in the last 2 years.
just last few years they've had at least 4
so
quarterbacks.
Maybe they'll see if somebody's around. Because I tell you what, with this kind of defense that the HOB has, you don't have to be a great quarterback.
You could probably get up.
Well, that's not.
I'm telling you, I don't know. I know I keep bringing up Jim's name, but I think he should these teams should be.
Well, he would fit with that team.
You know what I mean?
Because he's built like a
exactly. I don't know what his schedule is. Maybe he just likes playing 6-on-6. But if I was HOB, I would be like, Jim, come on, buddy. We'll hook something up. We'll figure something out. Recruit this guy.
I mean, you're a quarterback. You put up 14 points. You're gonna win.
You put up 6 points. You're gonna win with HOB. They put up less than 5. 5 points a game. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's
at this level.
That's ridiculous.
But all right. But let's give kudos to the Canes.
Yep.
Everybody had this team buried.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And buried past 6 feet. They had them 12 feet, not 6.
Yeah. They were buried early too. I buried them early.
And well, there wasn't a lot of people talking about them. Let's put it that way.
Not in a good way.
Now they're, like you just said, they're not spectacular, but they're doing enough to get a W.
Enough, yeah.
And that's all you have to do in the playoffs. It's win and move on. And they now move on to take on the Diablos, who again had the forfeit against Brick City. Now, here's where Wally is going to have to reach back into his past.
Yeah.
And come up with one of those Wally games.
Machine,
get in one of those things.
This Diablo team is on fire. I mean, we talk about their depth. Their depth is ridiculous. On both sides of the ball. I don't know. I don't see the Canes making this a game this week, to be honest.
I'll tell you what. The Canes have a lot of pride. They have a lot of pride.
That and $2 will get you a cup of coffee. Right
okay, and the Canes know how to get chippy. Okay, now, all right, and there's no secret. Everybody knows that the Canes can be a little chippy.
Yeah.
On occasion, and you know what? For them to they have a weakness here, they have a weakness there. The reason I think the All-Stars are going to win this game is because I think their will to win is stronger than the Shakers. Now, I know that's a cockamamie reason to say, but I just think that their will to not lose, it even came down to that last game against Diablos when they went for 2.
Yeah.
All right. At that point, we don't want to lose. We don't want to tie. We want to win.
Right.
I think that might be, and I'm not even saying it's going to be, but I think that could be the deciding factor, the All-Stars' will to get back to that championship game because they felt they should have won it last year.
Yeah.
You can't back out.
I can't back out. And you know what? As you're saying that, I'm thinking about it. I'm going to go with the Shakers because every time I pick against this team, I think this team is just an afterthought. They come back and they prove that they're not, and they win. And like you said, the All-Stars have a will to win. I think the Shakers have just as big a will. You watched them. We've seen them both play the Diablos and both take the Diablos to the wall.
The brink.
Right there. And they had it. I think this is going to be a 1-point game. This may even go into overtime. I'm going to take the Shakers pretty much for the same reasons you said for the All-Stars. I think they have a great will to win.
And that game's going to be that's going to be on film.
Yes.
That game
I will be at Wayne Hills this week where we'll discuss where the other guys are going. I'll probably put that up on the board. Maybe a little vote. You guys can determine the other 2 games because all the other fields have 2 games, and we'll figure it out from there. But I think how you were saying the All-Stars have that will to win. I think the Shakers do too. They didn't make it to this point to just be like, man.
Well, no one has, but I
understand that, but.
We have always talked about the determination of the All-Stars. We have always talked about it. We've always said, and it's what we've always said about the Shakers, and you agreed.
Yep.
They have an 8-game preseason schedule.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and they said it themselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like that's going to beat you.
Yeah.
I do, because when you have the will to win all the time, you never have to think about losing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's been a while since they lost a game.
You lose a game, and the hell with it. It's just a regular season.
Right.
You know? That kind of mentality is the kind of mentality the All-Stars don't have.
Matt.
They come on the field. I don't care if you're flipping baseball cards. Right. They want to win.
Yeah, I understand that.
And that's the only reason. I'm not saying that the Shakers don't want to win, but I've seen that will stronger with.
I've seen that in Goose alone on that team. I think has
Goose determination. Great player. No doubt about it. But on the All-Stars, everybody's got that will to win.
I hear you.
And then the Shakers, I know. I mean, I know a lot of guys on the Shakers. I know them. They're a bunch of nice guys, but. Something's going to separate one team from the other. If it's not physical play on the field, it's got to be up here.
Yeah,
right? It's got to be something up here.
Both teams are mentally strong.
Okay,
Shakers.
We could talk about this.
Probably the only 2 reasons I'll give you. Home field advantage for the Shakers. All-Stars got a game at 8:30 before that one.
Now that's a good point.
That's
a good point. And don't forget, every game here is a conference semifinal this week.
Yeah. So it's
an important game.
So there's no, like we said, All-Stars last week of the regular season with the Diablos. Hey, we got to get to this other game. We're going to finish second anyway. We'll go for 2. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose.
I think this is the more important game to them.
Oh, definitely. It definitely is.
And I think that this is a game they probably would have wanted to play first.
This is, what's great is, since we're both picking Diablos and everyone's probably feeling the Diablos except for those guys that wear orange, we're going to get a great finals, whether the Shakers or the All-Stars get in.
I think it's going to be one for the books.
Yeah.
All right. So Joey B, Mike McSee, everybody's got a semifinal game out there. So give it your best and let the chips fall where they may. Good night, and we will see you. It is nighttime out there, isn't it? Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, we'll see you next week anyway for what will turn out to be the conference finals in every conference.
Yep.
Have a good night and a great game this weekend.